Is it okay?
Yeah, it should be okay, Mukta.
Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Gemalto Authentication webinar. I am Mukta Gupta, who represents the solution sales in the enterprise and cyber security vertical of Gemalto. Gemalto as an organization is a global leader in digital security, and it has majorly four verticals to address. One is a government, one is a mobile segment and mobile and IoT segment. Another is a banking segment, and the fourth one is the enterprise and cybersecurity. Enterprise and cybersecurity majorly focuses on two product lines, or I should say the two verticals which we addresses internally is the identity protection and data protection. When we talk about identity protection, it is the user authentication which we need to do. We need to see who is the right user who is accessing our resources. So we validate the credentials of the users before allowing him or her getting into our critical environment where we have a critical information residing. So that's the first layer of protection we need to have. And for having this protection layer, we could use various technologies. Two majorly technologies which is widely accepted and being used is the PKI, that is the public key infrastructure, where we validates the certificates of an end user which has been issued by an internal certifying authority or by an external certifying authority. And once that credential management and validation is done based on certificate which has been issued to him, we grant him access. Second is a very commonly known technology which we call as a OTP, one time password technology, which is based on oath protocol, and all our solutions are oath based solutions. We do not have any proprietary protocol for authentication being used. So whatever solution we are going to showcase you during this webinar would be talking on OTP based authentication for users. We have a cloud based offering, SafeNet authentication service, which is 100% cloud delivered as a service to end users to enable various applications within the organizations, outside the organizations, to achieve a user authentication using OTP technology. Having said that, this solution is also available in a model of on-premise deployment. You can have the database of your own. We can have a software installed on a hardware or on a VMware with respective sizing shared to you, depending on the user base, into your infrastructure. Most of the customers are opting for cloud-based authentication service today is because of the total cost of ownership is almost zero, because we do not have to do the maintenance of the hardwares, of the databases. We do not have to invest on the resources to maintain the upgrades. We don't have to maintain, we do not need any expertise within ourselves to maintain the databases and understand the authentication service, how it's being deployed, how it's working. It's just one time configuration into our cloud hosted model, and the user can use his various applications to achieve the same. Okay, now if we see, there are wide range of applications which are being used within the organizations by various users. Some of them will be using the standard VPN. Like if we say today only 82% of the companies are using VPN, there will be 61% of the cloud applications which we'll be using. There'll be 74% of the VDI which we may be using, and there might be other applications which bring on mobility for the employees they might be using. All these different applications being used within the organization for different users require different level of access. Additionally, the IT parameter is increased, and the maintenance of the different IDs for these different application becomes like a nightmare for the IT administrator people. So we have a single consolidated solution which helps you to implement strong layer of authentication for all the application, whether they are homegrown, whether they are standard applications understanding radius or SAML protocols like Salesforce, Google Apps, Office 365, they all understand SAML pretty well. Network login, like you want to log in into your Windows environment or you want to log in into your Linux environment, you can enable them with two-factor authentication layer. Okay, so there are various verticals within the organizations, different verticals which the segments which we address through either through compliances or through where actually customer understands they need to enhance the security standards within the organization. So we can meet the compliances as well, bring it from PCI DSS to the EPCS compliance, which is for the healthcare sectors. Today, if we see the record of data breaches records that is going to happen, is much more because of the internal threat of loss of the password, weak password mechanism which we have, or if we have a strong password, then there are so many passwords to manage that it becomes a cumbersome task, increases the help desk calls, and that is much more evolving in this world where we have so many applications to address. And data breaches is not a matter of whether it will happen or not. It will definitely happen in some way or the other. It's the only thing that we can make sure is that how much we are ready to ensure the right access is given to the right resources within the organization, not by keeping ourselves for that my organization is complete foolproof. I can rely on the whole story of password. Okay, challenges are increasing, the usability, the administration overheads, the cost, the higher risk of breaches, and meeting the compliances. These are challenges which are being regularly faced by the IT administrators and by the organizations to ensure that we have to have right resources being planted for authentication in the company. Authentication, or I should say the OTP word, is not too new for us. I believe most of us would be well versed with it. Either we might be using through our banking transactions or somewhere or the other. The major factor is how beautifully and how easily and how conveniently the authentication vendor is giving you that as this as a service, how easy it is for the end users to understand, how easy it is for the administration task, how easy it is to implement within the infrastructure of the organization is the major role where we are have an edge to the other authentication vendors in the screen. One of the biggest factor, as I just said, is depending on we have 100% cloud, so you do not have any deployment required on your infrastructure side to have this service enabled. It's a 30-minute setup. Everything is up and running in just 30 minutes, ensuring that we have all the prerequisites met successfully. Additionally, we have almost 150, so it's pretty 150 is the only parameter I can say about is the list of integration guys that you will be able to see on a published portal. But if you bring it on any application which is going to have radius, SAML or anything, we can use and integrate with it. It helps with 60% lower TCU than other solutions. It helps this particular solution. Definitely we need to ensure it as a cloud service. We need to have it. Just give me a minute, please. Sorry. So I was talking about that when we have this cloud service available, we need to ensure that we have a strong availability of the solution. So we almost have 5.9 SLA available with our cloud solution, which is pretty much higher than respected to any other cloud provider, whether with respect to not only for authentication, for other solutions as well. Okay, we have a couple of good pointers which we can definitely help. How easy is the solution to implement is that it helps you to fully automated and management, define policies, enforce them through your IT ecosystem, automated user and token lifecycle administration, or alerts which we can generate for the operator level. We have almost 50 plus reporting functionality available in our inbuilt solution, which help you to meet from the security, from the compliance log, to understand how many tokens have been used, how many tokens are not available, how many users are using those tokens, when are they using, what is the success rate, and all that information can be grasped from the reporting functionality. Broad use cases like VPN, VDI, and network portals I already discussed could be definitely achieved. We have wide range of two-factor methods, tokens available with us, which is talking about the from the software tokens to the hardware tokens to the tokenless form factors like a pattern-based token. We do ensure the peace of mind with the standard-based security we have implemented in our cloud-based offering is ISO 27001. That's the ISO certification which we hold. We have our HSM, that is another product line from Gemalto. We are leaders into it, where we ensure the token secrets and encryption keys are secured in the HSM, and we have this particular architecture in a multi-tier, multi-tenant architecture. So when I say multi-tier, every organization has its own secure virtual account created into our cloud portal, which we can further give it to their different verticals, having different policies, different users, different administrators, different tokens to be consumed within the organization. So one of the great example, or a pretty good easy example to understand from the prospect that how we allow the administrator task also get reduced by the automation policies and the workflows we have incorporated into our authentication service. Let's say there is so we have an LDAP sync agent, which is a synchronization agent, which sits between your Active Directory or the LDAP directory or a database between the and the authentication database to synchronize the user information, the group user information from it. So if there is a user which is currently existing and we add on to any new user, excuse me. So there is this sync agent synchronizes itself after every refreshes itself after every 20 minutes. So if there is any user who is going to do an changes into it and that's synchronized, we can have that user synchronized, as well as depending on the roles and policy that has been defined to him, he'll be getting the allocated token to him, and he can start using the resource with the secure mechanism. Okay, so these are other ways we can say, let's say for example there's a new person who is adding it or somebody is leaving, then you can revoke that token and reissue it to some other user, so that we don't have to add on the new tokens. We don't need to bind it ourselves to the token and the user to it. We can, if there is a role change and we need that bit, depending on the role change, we need to have a new token assigned to him. We can we can trigger that out through our automated workflows, which we would be conferring into our authentication portal. So it's pretty simple to enroll yourself with the mobile pass token. So mobile pass token is a software token, which is an MSI file, which could be installed on your Windows machine or Mac machine, or it could be installed on your Android or iOS devices. Additionally, we have a mobile pass plus token, which is being pretty used commonly these days, is with the where we have a transparent user experience. This like an notification you as soon as you request applications to validate the end user, a notification is received onto the end user device, and it pops up and asks you to accept or deny. And based on that request, if you just give accept, the OTP travels through a secure mechanism to the backend, ensuring that uh, the user is not getting into the traditional method of manually entering the OTP from his keyboard. So even it has out of band authentication, ensuring there are two different secure channels being used to log in into the application. Service portal is another quick portal which is there, which where if we do not have any token available with us and you want a new token, so you just click on request a token, and the token request goes to the administrator, and administrator, depending on your privileges, he can assign you a new token on the go itself. Okay. We have alerts, which I just already told you, that if there is a operator who is logged out, he has made wrong attempts, so we can definitely do that way. We have 40 plus out of the box templates, which we can, you have an automated delivery through an email which integrates with your SIM for the further analysis of those reports to be shared. We can support any of the use cases which we have, and it's almost like protecting everything, everyone, and anywhere. So you bring it on any application which is on premise or cloud based, we can talk to them using the radius SAML, or through of the some of the agents which we have, or through web APIs which we have in .NET and Java to be consumed by the applications to enable them with two-factor authentication. These are the tokens. So we have standard tokens, we have software tokens, we have SMS or email tokens, we have out of band authentication tokens, which we call the push notification token. We have pattern based tokens. We have context based tokens for SAML applications as well. This is a context based of example. In low risk, the user gains immediate access to the protected rows. We can ensure that we are exempting the user from it. In case we have a policy defined where we want to ensure that additional to his password, he has to ensure the OTP to be entered from the from the token. So these are the some of the form factors which we can definitely use and make our solution built according to it. We can do the customization and branding of our solution with your own logo, with your own caption, with your own email templates, with your own SMS templates thrown across to the end customers. Okay. This is the push notification. This is the pattern based where we can have a JavaScript being used to the web applications. Okay, which I've already covered. Okay, now so we do have a solution where it can allow you to migrate from a third-party authentication vendor to Gemalto smoothly, and there are customers who are using this, and slowly and slowly, as soon as their licenses get expired, they completely move on to our authentication service. As additionally, I talked about that if we have a multi-tier architecture, then it allows you to have multiple regions being accessed by multiple resources, and they having their own branding, their own delegation, their own business units with their own local and remote staff being managing their. So it's a solution which can scale you, and you can definitely brand it from your portals to email and on. Just to summarize what I just talked about is that if we go for a authentication as a service model, definitely we think about reducing the soft costs, that is the automated administration, cloud-based security, patch management, backup, storage, redundancy, HA, DC, DR, whatever it is. We are completely gone out of that zone. We even happen to reduce the hard cost of the maintaining of the hardware, softwares, and quick cloud migration we can have, keeping your infrastructure intact. Peace of mind from the standards of the security that we follow, the SLAs that we offer, and these are the just a gist of the solution that I've already talked about. So we also so we have been in Gartner from past 4 years. After 2014, no Gartner report is available. The quadrant is available. It's just a report that's published. So in order to remain intact, we have our SC Magazine reviews awarded, Cybersecurity Excellence awarded, as well as we have Network World Review. We have Cloud Security Award, which where OBS wins the best. So OBS is the business services which is using Gemalto authentication service hosted in their cloud service environment, and they are white labeling and giving our service as authentication service to the very customers. So we have been in the market from past 30 years. Then that's the reason that we bring trust to secure and manage the valuable entities of global brands. This is just an overview of Gemalto, how do it. So that's all from my side. If you have any queries, you can please raise it across to me and I'll be happy to answer them. सब टेक्नो माइंड है. Hello everyone. Do we have queries? Hello?
Nothing at the moment, Mukta. I think we have recorded this session and we will pass the session on to all the to whoever we have sent.